information. Do you wanna know? 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 Be careful and stay away, 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 stay away.
People. What up now, people? Brothers, sisters, welcome to the first church. How y'all? Everybody good? Hoping this Sunday finds you well. Y'all know I'm in here mukbanging before the get down. Let's see. Frank White, Henty, Lance. Thank you, brother. Thank you. All right, nephew Joshua. Asked an old white Jesus lover, what does the bunny have to do with your white Jesus? She said, go and have a good day. Of course. We're going to talk about that today, too. Eric Harvey. That's going to be up in here. Rick Havoc says Jesus is risen. And Satan is falling, just biding his time at this point. Okay. Well, we will most definitely explore that line of thinking. And we will explore that line of thinking. And again, I got way more questions than I got answers. So I do not consider myself by any stretch to be an authority in any areas other than the two that I carry PhDs from, which are pimp shit and nigger shit. Those I know very well. Everything else, I'm a little furry on. What's happening, Jan Wynn, Cousin Annis, Henty, Kells, all 20 of y'all? What's up? True. Somebody talking about your uppercasing. Oh, yeah. Uppercase the G, yeah. God's really great and heavy on penmanship, as opposed to whether or not you feed people you don't know. I don't know, Rick Havoc. I don't know. All right. We are up in here. All 20 of y'all, can you see me? We going through that same shit again. Let me know how I'm sounding. Am I sounding good? Is my audio crisp? Am I coming through crisp and clear? It is very important for me to know that, you see. Yeah, people, I'm tired. My young Jedi Kills wants to know what we are smoking. And I must shout out John, who smells like weed, who is the sponsor of Giraffe Balls in the First Church. Holy shit. Today's train is 50-50. The tits, baby, and Mullen. Yeah, this tits strain is just nice, baby. It's very smooth. I know my lips don't match. Yeah, I had to scoot it back later. This is so dumb. I hate it. I don't know what's going on. I need to have it looked at. But my sound is good. Excellent. Excellent. Yes. Little of the tits, baby, and Mullen mixed together. I finally had my man come see me after taking a hiatus. The good shit, man. Look at those nuts in there. We got the good shit out here, ladies and gentlemen. Cousin Anna's today. Smoking a G33. Black gold mixed, like grown that way, cousin? Is that what you mean? Or did you mix them yourself? Or yeah. Look at me, Jess. Oh, it smell like Christmas. Oh. My man Kels is on the Skywalker. All right. Good. Well, let's go ahead and explain the first church. Y'all know how we do. Somebody fucked up and told me God was everywhere. So I pray from here. Save you 10%. You never miss a game. And since you're here, I'm going to say it's safe to say that you are about saving that 10% on your soul insurance by switching to Don't Go. And we welcome you to the first church of holy shit, where the truth goes down and this piece hard. We speak here about God without a name, because in order for God to have a name, you have to believe a man. You don't have to believe a man in order to believe. Oh, it finally happened, people. It finally happened. It broke. Oh. The end of an era, ladies and gentlemen. The end of a goddamn era. I am heartbroken. I am crestfallen. I'm hurt. I'm hurt, but my clumsy ass knew that this day would get here, that I would fuck up my teapot. I'm just glad the water wasn't that hot. We had some great times together, Teapot. I'm gonna find another teapot like you, hopefully, one day, but probably never exactly like you. Keeping my throat coated so that I can deliver the words of encouragement to the people. You serve this show well, but you too, like me one day, will be kicked the fuck out of here. But you first. You got to go. I hate to see you go. You were such a wonderful, wonderful addition to what I did. And now you go. Ah, man. Boy, does that hurt. Y'all know how much I love that thing? That Art Deco 70s looking. I'll find another one. Oh, that's good tea. But yes, here at the First Church of Holy Shit, we delve off into the truth. We get at it. We cuss, we smoke weed, but we get the work done in here. We get the work done. So if you it's pretty funny, Frank. If you are so inclined and swear words don't burn your ears, by the way, please beware of people who can't stand swear words. Those are some of the most disingenuous, backbiting, cutthroat, and passive aggressive bullshit ass people I have ever met. And Sister Henty says we keeps to the buck in here, and we do. So all that said, let's shove on out in the water, shall we? Bow your funky ass heads. Creator, we thank you for this day. Father, Mother, God, ancestors, earth, higher power, higher force, most high. We are come together. We are come together as a unit of people who seek truth. Truth and honesty. The real, the raw. The what it is what it is of things. Truth is about us, from each other, and most importantly, truths from and about you. We want to share and know and get an eye on those who oppose us. Keep us safe from those who do and would oppress us. Keep us ever mindful. Keep our alarms sensitive. Keep our circles narrow. Keep us focused on our purposes. Send us a troll today, Creator, if that is your will. It'd be cool. There's no troll without a lesson. But most importantly, don't let me or my ego get in the way of giving or receiving. Cut this short right here because my loud ass dog. But I ask all these blessings in the name of my Creator, my ancestors. and on behalf of a God whose name I know not. I believe it is so, and so it is. Can I get a nigga amen? Now we smoke. Where my other one? This the one. Yeah. Okay. Now we go and get up and go and get off up in it. Let's see. We can pull that down. Bust that out. And bust that out. Pow. Today's sermon. Happy ISHTAR. Now, I'm going to give out the Cliff Notes to the origins of Easter today. But that's not going to be the main crux of what I kind of talk about. It's this other shit you got to look out for. And that's the shit we'll be discussing today. Damn it, that's good tea. Broke my damn. Honey. Ooh, a test tube beaker. A test tube beaker as a coffee pot. I'm going to look that up. Test tube beaker coffee pots. There's enough been said. You can Google it. You can YouTube it on that subject. And we're going to get into that. The meat of it is the other half. So let's set it all up. As a youngin', am I the only one that struggled with how a bunny rabbit colored eggs and Easter grass had anything to do with the resurrection of Jesus? And to watch the combination of ignorance and arrogance. Just made up a new word. Ignarrogance. Woo! There we go. There's a t-shirt. Ig. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're going to enjoy this one. Oh yeah, this will be worth it. This might. I keep saying it. This might be my first T-shirt. Yeah. Ignarrogance. An aqueous blend of ignorance and arrogance that gives off two aromas: perfume to the ignorant and funk to the wise. Ignarrogance. Black Christians reek of it. You say what you want to, but with regard to knowing they shit, journeyman black Christians versus journeyman black Muslims, the Muslims will whoop y'all ass. They wipe the floor with your ignorant asses. And you be the first ones that when somebody don't agree with you, you allude to their ignorance. Because I agree with you, I must not. Because I disagree with you, I must not know. It must come from something I'm missing. Because if I knew everything you knew, there's no way we could know the same things and not come to the same conclusion on this particular subject. That is the height of Ignarrogance. And yes, that one, yeah, that looked like a good T-shirt right there. Y'all, put a P2B1 in the chat if you would buy that as a T-shirt, a coffee mug, or what you would buy it as: T-shirt, coffee mug, hoodie. Yes, those suffering from stage 5 Ignarrogance, the self-appointed jackleg shoe booty preachers that called the bishop and the reverend doctor, at the height of their Ignarrogance, they will try to put together, to concoct, to cobble a story out of that is not pagan. Here's your problem. There's a civil rights leader who said that the Bible was rife with and owes a great many of its origins to paganism. That civil rights leader was named Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. You can argue with him if you want to, but you're going to have to spray on some of that Ignarrogance in order to do that. And spray on, you're going to argue with Dr. King, really? Okay. Those people exist. But yes, you have to be at your height of Ignarrogance to tell someone that they don't agree with you, therefore they're ignorant. That's just amazingly. Oh, and most people who suffer from Ignarrogance, number one, do not have passports. Or number 2, have passports and have never been to Africa. They just go to nigger vacation spots. Yeah, if you just go to nigger vacation spots, it don't count. You just fucking under a different palm tree. Yeah, those people who will argue you down about the Bible and ain't never been nowhere that niggas don't want to sneak off and fuck. Don't want to fight with you about the Bible. It's amazing. Anyway, in that Ignarrogance, was born the cognitive dissonance and the high hurdling of all logic in order to still participate. And that's who I want to talk about. Okay. Let me take Ignarrogance down. And then I'm going to put, I got to remember to start doing this. I had to put that in there so that it'll help me when I'm cutting these up later. The Ignarrogance, we is that's one part. Focus on the ignorant. In today's society, you have to be willfully ignorant because of the access to information. Because of how much information is available. Now, it doesn't make you wise. The janitor got keys to the library. Just because you have the access doesn't make you wise. But it does erase the excuse for ignorance. There's no excuse for foolishness. And now no excuse for ignorance. Well, why do you bring that up, Uncle Jeff? Well, hold your fucking horses. I won't say everybody knows. But the fact that during the spring, the pagans use, hold on a minute. Mama! Knock it off! Come on, man, I'm doing a show. Thank you. That's not gonna be enough. About 15 seconds, she gonna start barking. Where was I? Oh yeah. It's no big secret that Christmas is a pagan holiday, that Easter is pagan, that Halloween is pagan. These are not secrets you can't find, which means that at the height of Ignarrogance, at the very height of Ignarrogance, I like that better than Ignarrogance. It doesn't I would how about Neo-Negro Ignarrogance? Negro Ignarrogance. Two different words. The Ignarrogance of it all. Just is fed. It's fed by the fact that you can go find what I know right now. What I'm telling you right now, nobody. I didn't hear this shit till long after I had a driver's license. As hard as it is to believe, there was a life before all this shit. A world that was different. So my parents get a pass because my parents were taught by people whose parents were taught by people it was illegal to read. Consider that trickle down. It is to be considered. It is a factor. Yes. That is hear ye. As of today, the new word made up here at the First Church of Holy Shit is Neo-Negro Ignarrogance. Oh, I'm gonna get that in a dictionary. That's you ignorant, arrogant, new niggas. Neo-Negro Ignarrogance. Yes. You new niggas. That's ignorant and arrogant. Neo-Negro Ignarrogance is what you suffer from. That too will be available. I was born in, yes, I will write that to myself. I was suffer none. Ignorance. Yes. Yes. We are cooking with grease today, people. It is the Negro Ignarrogance aside, you we all know Easter's pagan. You can find it. It ain't hidden. It's not some the deep mysticism it was for my parents. My grandparents would have had to dig deep to find this knowledge. You don't. These grown ass niggas, you don't. Which means you are choosing the vomit of the past. You are making a willful choice to be ignorant. Why? Those are the people we want to focus on. YouTube, the people who knowing, who hearing, who getting wind of through hearsay may have heard that Easter is about getting the dignitaries of a nation, of a country, of an area to find your young daughters attractive enough to take sex from them, Steve 858, in return for favors. You know, kind of like R. Kelly and the parents of them babies did. Oh, y'all need to be in jail too. If you had an underage daughter, you handed over to R. Kelly, you too. You gave up your daughter's womb as a shortcut. You just as bad. Anyway, I ain't even really mad at the pagans. My thing is my people with their Negro Ignarrogance. Negro Ignarrogance and Neo-Negro Ignarrogance are two different animals. Negro Ignarrogance, the shit your parents and them got. Neo-Negro Ignarrogance is the shit your kids got. They different. They're not the same. Exactly, Steve. Exactly. No sympathy, brother. No sympathy at all. What's happening, Zero, up in here? We got a couple of new t-shirts in here today. You missed it. But these are the people that you must focus on, even if these are the people that are you. You got to listen to your spiritual tuning fork. And this is not just me preaching to you. This is me talking to me. We must be more in tune to our spiritual timing. We must. It is an imperative. Because if you don't, Lord, if you don't, good question, Thunderbird. Who said we study religion? They study us. Yeah. And religions that aren't yours. You were taught your religions were evil. Taught to hate yourself. And given a book that is supposed to pilot your soul by people who never thought you had a soul. I'm not telling you to reject the Bible. I'm telling you to question the fucking shit out of it. That's what I'm telling you. Question. Question anything I say. Everything come to you, question it. Everything. Make thoughts have to fight. Man, I'm trying to tell you. This genius shit. It's a burden. This will be worth it. Let's put this up here. I'm always talking about this. About the mind as a coliseum. Y'all heard me speak on this at length. There we go. That's what I want. let that sentence sink in there. Excuse me, I'm gonna let that statement sink in there. Your mind is prime real estate. Kick out bum ass, no earning ass, thieving ass, lazy ass thoughts. They got to go. Okay? Those of you who still get dressed up to go to church for Easter, do you know what do you know what you're telling people? With the cameras, the facial recognition cameras, and your little narc ass devices we all have in our homes now. I'm still under the trance. In the McDonald's drive-thru, I'm still under the trance. Eating the meat, I'm still under the trance. And granted, this shit's hard to shake. There's pieces of it that make me think sometimes they be putting your ass on autopilot. Them thoughts gotta go. Those people, those thoughts haven't left. Yeah, here's another one I'm gonna put up. Yes. This is a piece of genius spoken by my grandmother. Yes. I'll put pictures of her up later. After boom. Yeah, that's cool enough. I'll let that stay. Is Jesus flying one of them spaceships you talking about? Oh, I didn't fuck that up. I am a grammar Nazi. Is Jesus flying one of them spaceships you talking about? My grandmother, Mildred Cottle. This is the question she asked when Scientologists, I remember these brave white Scientologists came rolling down 60th and Damon. And this is when I first knew niggas was scared of white folks, because I lived in one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in America. I want you to Google the crime statistics for the zip code 60636 from 1945 to right now and tell me when it was good over there. Okay. Got it. Anyway, these white Scientologists were in my neighborhood and they knocked on the door. And for some reason, when the black Jehovah Witnesses would come, shout out to AJ Jamal. He said when I was little, I thought the Jehovah Witnesses was a gang. Because every time they came on my porch, my mama make us, get down, be quiet, get down. We did the same thing. But I guess it was something triggered in my grandmama that she wasn't finna hide from no white folks. Oh, shit. Here they come. They opened the gate. They came in. My grandma went down, and before they could knock on the door, she pulled it open. May I help you? Yes, sir. We'd like to talk to you about Scientology. Ain't that the religion with the spaceships? Well, yes, ma'am. Is Jesus flying one of them spaceships you talking about? They looked at each other. They looked at her. I don't think so. Well, I don't think we have anything further to discuss. Now, y'all can get the fuck on out of my yard. That's a quote. I love you, Grandma. That's a quote. Now, flash forward from 1975 or so to 2023. The information about UFOs is being unclassified. While you look up and may see one, please look back and do not let an establishment, people you knew, people you know, people you meet, ridicule conspiracy theorists, because so far conspiracy theorists are putting points on the board. Alien abduction, point on the board. Alien existence, point on the board. Propaganda to make you think them people was crazy, point on the board. Them people might have been crazy, but that don't mean they wrong. Point on the board. A lot of people want to ignore those points. Those points are being scored. You got to look at them people different. Now, unless you still need to believe this system. If it's just you just got to have a titty to suck on. You just can't get past your Negro Ignarrogance. You can't. You don't know which one of them to drop because you can't. They're a package deal. Once you drop your ignorance, your character determines whether you will drop your arrogance. But you can't call yourself a forward thinker or a good person if you can carry arrogance in the face of contrary knowledge. There it is. If you can, that's yes. Ignorant, stupid, foolish, evil. Ignorant, that just means don't know. Don't know. That's all ignorant means. People get all bent the fuck out of shape when somebody calls them ignorant. But the truth is, Pappy, ignorance just means I don't know how many jars of condiments are in your fridge right now, Pappy Friedman. I have no idea. I'm ignorant of that. It doesn't mean that if I was invited to your house that I couldn't count them and know. Ignorance just means I don't know. Stupid. Well, stupid means can't learn. He just plain old fucking stupid. My dog, Marley. Beautiful. Beautiful. Pedigree American Bulldog. Gorgeous. Get her exercise, feed her good food, treat her with love and kindness. Get her to the vet. But you know what? No matter how I try, no matter how I work with her, I cannot get her to do my taxes. She's stupid to that. But that's not what I got her for. I got her for a different type of tax. To tax that ass if you come up in here while I get my shit. She's just the she's the appetizer. I'll be along soon with the entree. And I'm gonna serve your motherfucking ass. Arrested Development. Yes. Yes, Brother Zero. But on a certain level, when you look at the traits of animals to sense shit, to be able to read people, as opposed to us, you got to ask whose development is arrested. I had to take smoke on that, like I said some shit. Now, oh yeah. So I did ignorant and stupid. Here's foolish. Can learn. Can learn. Does know and won't apply. That's a fool. That's a damn fool. You know better, but you won't do better. That's foolish. Now, can learn. Does know. And will not apply on a moral level. You know you're supposed to let that man see them kids. You know you're supposed to pay that money for them babies. You know you're supposed to be spending more time with your kids. You know you ain't supposed to talk about your baby daddy in front of that boy like that. You know you ain't supposed to be parading these niggas around in front of that boy like that. You know you ain't supposed to be avoiding that boy like that because of his mama. That's evil. You're doing evil. Tacit behavior is evil. Tacit behavior is the ride evil takes where it's going. Yeah. I think I'm going to go with Tacit. It's a little wordy, but I think you're going to like it. Come on, do me right. Yes. Evil arrives at its destination on the painful, bloodied back of tacit behavior. Evil can't get where it's going. Unless good people do nothing. In a related story, a cousin to this story, then I'll open the doors. White supremacy cannot exist without black participation. There is no white supremacy if we don't participate. None. That's hilarious. We can put that in later. We can put that in. Wow. That is exactly the root reason why we don't get along. Too much conversation to shit that has nothing to do with roots people. I like that, roots people. How deep was you were taught how to pilot your soul by people who didn't think you had a soul? Wow. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Powerful people cannot afford to educate the people that they oppress, because once you are truly educated, you will not ask for power, you will take it. My man, John Henry Clark. That's my man right there. Well, with that, I'm gonna invite you niggers on in here, and whilst y'all decide to congregate, I am going to take a brief break to go to the potty house and blow my nose. And I don't think you people should be subjected to that. Chill music. I'll be right back. All right. My monkey head ass is back. Drop the music back for just a second. So we got it nice and vibey in the back. As I think I'm bringing him in. Brother Zero. You up in here, man? Ladies and gentlemen, the nuts and bolts. Glad to have nuts and bolts of First Church Giraffe Balls functions. My main man, Devil Dog Zero. What's happening, brother? What's on your mind?
Oh man, I'm good. How are you today, my brother?
I'm bracing for impact, to be honest with you, but I was just touched to think how different to broach this subject that I talked about today with regard to Easter and pagan holidays. And I really don't think, without repeating myself, I can say much else about it other than it's not enough to know what this is and to follow the rituals blindly to know that that's what's happening. You have to now also know that people either A, do know, or B, don't know, in an information of knowing, in an age of knowing, rather, that these are the people you're dealing with. And you have to look at them that way. Thoughts?
I was involved in another conversation that had it was
Can you bring your volume up a little bit?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Is
that better?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, I think that's about as loud as I'm gonna be able to get. But they had it was like a conversation that involved Billy Carson and another gentleman named Dr. Greer, and you know they were talking about the UFO situations and things like that. And one of the interesting things that they were talking about is how the racism, the white supremacy has moved into the exopolitics of what alien is good, what alien is bad. How, I mean, this shit is so deep and convoluted. How it's got us by the genes, by the root. You know what I'm saying? Just
yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous that you know they talking about, hey, yeah, now, yeah, extraterrestrials are real, but now we got to deal with racism from the fact that they saying like all of the pale Nordic looking ones are the good guys and all of the ones that don't look that way are the bad guys, because the same scientists that's been involved with hiding the shit so many years was the same Nazis that was you know what I'm saying, participating in the secret science. So this is deep, man. I was just listening to what you were saying, man, and it just kind of, it just hit me, man. You know, it's just like, wow, you know. A lot of these things, man, we just got to kind of hold ourselves to account and understand that we a big part of feeding into the bullshit. And until we do it on the micro level and master what we do in everyday life and how we're adding to the supremacy, man, it's going to be something that'll always defeat us, you know.
Well,
I'm in a sad mood today. I don't want to sound down, but
yeah, you little Bobby Downer today, a little bit.
it might be the coconut, the coconut rum, man. I took a couple sips of the coconut rum, man.
Okay.
To knock a bug out of me, man. But it's just, man, the more I think about this shit, man, the more I just realize that these motherfuckers, boy, yeesh. You have
Okay.
to,
Can you point us towards some links about this shit with the gas and the aliens up against us? Because
well,
I would love to hear more about that. Yeah.
I think it's anybody that follows it kind of been seeing it over the years, but it's pretty much, you can go to look up a doctor. His name is Dr. Greer, Greer, and he's from North Carolina. He's a medical doctor. And he's actually been like somebody that's really responsible for a lot of the disclosure that you're getting now and the information that you're getting now, like that they're putting out.
Yeah.
Because he set up a program where he said, listen, straight up, everybody, especially black people. He said, fuck the government. He said, what you're not realizing is that these beings want to contact you. That Take Me to Your Leadership was something made up in a movie. He said they don't really want to even deal with.
Right. Now I've heard this phraseology before.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, he's been running programs for years and years where he's been actually like consulting people on how to put together their own, they call them CE5 groups, where they actually get in contact with the beings and have interactions with the beings themselves and have almost like their own diplomatic exchange outside of the government. So that's why they've been really giving him hell for years. And then of course you can go over to forbiddenknowledge.com, Billy Carson's channel. I think I'm trying to get a lot of people in supporting that, because this would be that's one of the only venues of where it's people of color, indigenous, black people, whatever, actually putting a voice down as like
on that wavelength.
Yeah, on that wavelength as experts. You know, we even got our own people in our own community trying to take the brother down.
Oh, of course. Nobody shoots at niggas like niggas.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's very important for people to kind of go and support where they're coming, because they got a whole channel that's just nothing but these different, I guess they will call them alternative knowledge subjects. And I'm very studied. I call bullshit. I don't believe everything, and I don't go into nothing believing it. I just think it's very interesting just to have a library, a way you can access pretty much anything anybody's putting out, and it's something that's run by a brother, you know what I'm saying? So, I support it,
right.
I don't really go into it whether what he believes is the right thing or the wrong thing. I just look at it like these are archivists. They got libraries, respect them. Go access those libraries before it gets to a point where you can't anymore. And you show your support, So that's where you can get a lot of that information, forbiddenknowledge.com, and different researching and stuff like that. But overall, man, it's just yeesh. That this white supremacy thing is deep. I had to make a major call in my own career path just in the last week, where I just had to. I try to avoid being the first black, being that person that they put on a pedestal as the first black person to do this, the first black person to do that. Because a lot of times they just try to use you as a token for diversity. Yeah. To kind of just cover over all of the bullshit that they've done over the years. And now
we're not racist.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, a lot of people look at it like I'm not being ambitious, but that's not what it is. It's just that I'm not trying to be the face of the bull. Just because I'm in this field doesn't mean that I'm co-signing the whole fucking
Yeah.
history.
You ain't trying to be the face of the bullshit that happens after the discovery.
Yeah.
The next 10 years after the discovery, or the next 20 years after the discovery, what they actually do with the shit that you discovered. Yeah, you ain't trying to be that person.
Which was the entire impetus of seeking you out in the first place.
Exactly. And then the reality of it is everything I am was pushing against. They was the ones pushing against me. You get what I'm saying? So this the fact that I am here is the fact that I took an adverse stance to them. So now, you know, I'm just I never been that kind of guy where it's like I don't hold the grudge, but I'ma always remember. You know what I'm saying? The shit you did to me to make life hard when it could have been easier, because you know we sacrifice. We don't get involved when you the first in a field. A lot of times you sacrifice a lot of shit, man. You sacrifice family, friendship. You know,
by default, the first. I also like to say that I don't hold in as high regard the first black blank to do whatever, and it's not about putting them down as much as it is. That's the line where Whitey stopped tripping. That's what the first black, because you weren't the first qualified black person to do it.
Right, and that's
it's just Whitey got tired of pushing in that area. Like the movie Hidden Figures, it pissed me off immediately when Taraji Henson's character is talking to Kevin Costner's character, and he's grilling her about being late, and she explains that she has to go all the way across campus to take a piss.
Right.
So he comes out of his office and storms down the hallway and takes a sledgehammer and knocks down the whites only bathroom sign. A sign that he had passed for years.
Right. And not only passed, because you know he's the man. So
he's the man.
He signed off
on
on the standing operating procedure.
Did not find fault with it until it inconvenienced him.
Correct.
So this is not some grandiose stand the white man is taking for civil rights. You have walked past this for years.
So deep, bro. It's funny that you're talking about this, man, because this is ISHTAR's day, you know?
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why I was sitting here in such a kind of not downer mood, but just in the mood that I'm in, is because it's like they got the very people, they got the women, and they just got us so turned against each other, man. It is just so fucking ridiculous, where it's like, it's so crazy that, like, the way that you broke that down, that an intelligent person who's an artist or whatever, if they wasn't just so caught up in the vanity of the thing and shit like that, wouldn't just see the greater picture of that whole script. You know what I'm saying? They a writer like you, they thoughtful people like you, but they can't even break down the basics to see how they being utilized and used just to, you know, against their own, man. There's some ridiculous shit going on, bro. I'm sorry, Bruce.
Oh no, you good. Shit, you ain't never said nothing stupid as far as I know. On the subject of what you were speaking about earlier, which don't too far go back, I want to say it took me a long time. It took me a long time to settle in my, for lack of a better term, spirit, that some people do actually know better and don't want to do better. For a long time in life, I thought that if I gave them information, like, if you know better, you do better. Like, I guess I was raised by way too many pimps and sayings and shit that don't quite hold weight to other people. Because sense just made so much sense to me. It actually held weight. And knowledge is power. Knowledge is only power. Knowledge is power, but it seemed like they always forgot the second part, which is knowledge is power, but only if you use it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would give people, and I would over talk. I've heard so many times in my life, you talk too much, but I would give in hopes of you actually doing something with the information I'm giving you. Like, I see if your car stay parked on these tracks, this train is coming. Now, I don't know when it's coming because I'm not a conductor. I don't know nothing about it. But if your car is parked on tracks. It's not moving. These tracks ain't here for nothing. You're going to get hit by a train. And they would sit and watch the train hit them and go, I don't know what the fuck happened. And it would just disturb me for so many. And it still is kind of the thing I make it pass. Like, I have to make it pass, but the hill is a lot smaller than it used to be. I wonder if y'all had to ever, if that was a thing for y'all.
Oh, of course, bro.
Yeah. Okay. You have been a victim. You've been struck by, and these are smooth criminals. You have been struck by what I like to call an ask hole. An ask hole is a person that will ask you, come to you wholeheartedly, humbly, honestly, laying on their back, hat in hand, earnest, and ask you for advice on the nearest, dearest, most personal shit to them. You will give them that advice. They will go out and ignore it for 3 to 6 months and sometimes up to a year. And they will turn around and ask you for the exact same advice on the exact same shit. Those people are ask holes. No matter how much you put in that hole, they're going to come back with the same ask. You can't, what you have to do is not let that exasperate you as a master Jedi. You put them in the ask hole box so that you may further study them. Because as you get to know these ask holes and you put them together, then you can look at those people and do a deep dive one day over some good weed. What do they have in common besides this? So that I can take that information, hold your thought, I can take that information and forecast ask holes in the future. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, that's what made me stop, because I started to say something, but I stopped because I'm like, somebody needs to hear this. That ain't just me. So I did Sun Tzu backwards. I was learning people before I learned me. Mm-hmm. Because it was always people coming to me. My issues wasn't never that big. Like, there's one person outside my family that I call brother. Mm-hmm. And that one person, he goes, every time you call me and tell me it's some shit you in, it ain't got nothing to do with you. Like, you can literally be at home and it would have nothing to do with you if you didn't pick up your phone. And when he told me that a couple years ago, I went, huh. It was like 5, maybe more than a couple. But when he told it to me, it was just like, all right. So that took some time to sink in. So now when people do it, it's only like really one person I get over that does it now. But I didn't cancel out everybody else that has been in this 5-year loop in their life. They do the same. They go up, they go down, and then for some reason it seems like the older you get, the worse your down is. So it used to be, you get the job, you learn you can't just say whatever you want at the job. You ain't got the car. You get a job, you get a car. You might make it to a place, but you learn something that our culture, you can't just do everything we want to do at work. So then you lose the job. So then you lose the car, and you do that little loop. And then next time you get a car, you get a house or apartment or whatever. And then something happens and you didn't prepare good enough, and you loop back and you staying at home again. Well, when I learned the loop of people, which helped me learn my loop, which stopped me from being in the loop, which is how I got my stuff together as much as I do now. But I didn't learn myself, like how that was wanting to carry them was something I had to take out of me, because they don't want to go nowhere. So every time they falling right back to 17 years old. When I fall back to 2 years ago. It'd be something like that. It wouldn't be as bad as they fall. And so the gap just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it don't seem like much, but how many times you go ask your mama for money when it's time to go get some or time to go do something? Go ahead.
You know what's deep about what you're saying? Like a lot of times I sit and ponder, like, what's the difference between, like, you take somebody like Hannibal or like men of renown, like Tariq, Jabal al-Tariq, the brother that led the incursion into Europe in 711 AD, or Hannibal, or like any of these great generals or kings, Sundiata, whatever. And I try to wrap my head around what the difference is, and it always comes down to slave breeding makes it where you are like overly attached to the shit that you bred around and the connections that you're bred by. You know what I'm saying? And if you match that with men of renown, they had an idea and they went forth and met all their loved ones and friends on the way, realizing that idea. That's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? Like we get caught up in, like, you know, the attachments, like you need to be this way toward blood, no matter how they act, no matter what they do, no matter their character. You need to bow down. You need to stay connected. You need to. So a lot of times we are muted. We mute ourselves out of the whole picture and scenarios, the great ones amongst us anyway, by taking on a lot of this bullshit that's not even real, instead of, like you said, knowing yourself and putting yourself in positions of where you know yourself, or where you fight real wars and you know who's real deal. You know what I'm saying? Because even the gang shit, like you could look to a dude in a neighborhood and be like, yo, that dude is about it. But for real, on the grand scheme of things, if you put them out there where war is real war, a lot of them wouldn't even know what the fuck to do with themselves and shit like that. And
like a beach chair.
Yeah, they would fold. You know, so like a lot of the times, what you're saying is absolutely true about that's why they call it knowledge of self. You know what I'm saying? And then the second phase is Khan. That meaning those like you. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, you're gonna learn about all the other bullshitters and the ones that's supportive, or the ones that's half, or the ones that's 3/4, or whatever. You're gonna learn about them on the way, because you're using yourself as the measuring. You know yourself so well, you're using yourself as the measuring God and shit, rather than falling for the shit. But if you look at every fucked up situation we in, it's because we did not listen to ourselves and stand tall and stand on our own laurels and shit. You know what I'm saying? We allowed other people to come in and co-opt our ideas. We allowed them to turn the black fist into a pink fist. You know, we allowed them to do all kind of shit that's why I always say there's no culture, because we allowed them to fuck anything that could have been a cultural symbol or cultural icon. We allowed them to dirty it and to disintegrate it a long time ago. But we don't even have nothing for ourselves in our own mind, in our own way of thinking and shit. You know what I'm saying? And like what you saying is absolutely correct, young brother. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that's why a lot of times when I look at these movies and they have like this bad guy or this demon, and when you really look into the stories and the writing, you'll come to find out that a lot of these things that they portray as the devil or the demon is actually the good guy, because they come in to wipe away the fucking world.
Oh
and
yeah.
start all over.
Take a good look at Yellowstone. When you really look deep at it, it's the story of a poor, mega rich white family doing their very best to hold on to the land that their ancestors stole from the Indians. And that's who you're supposed to be rooting for.
Right. Right.
It's the Cowboys and Indians. It's proof positive that Cowboys and Indians don't fly today. It don't fly today. You can't tell that story like you could just in the 1960s. It's the climate has changed that much.
Shit is deep, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like the trickery that's going on, the fact that, man, I watched 20 scenarios. One of the things that got me in a funny mood today, I just watched about 20 different scenarios of where trans community is being violent, like extremely violent toward women, punching people in the face, doing like, you know, shooting people in schools, like being extremely violent. And then shortly after, we being told that they are the ones that need to be kowtowed to, or they're the ones that people were bleeding over, where they're actually giving bodily harm, attacking people, putting them through trauma, all types of stuff. These are men, man. I'm talking about, like, it's like the Joker, dude. Men in drag going crazy, doing violent shit to people, and nothing is happening to them. And we missed our chance. We missed our chance to scorch the fucking earth. All we would have did was a little bit of damage, and we would be in a whole nother position right now. And these motherfuckers is just wreaking havoc on everything. In sports, you know, like you got a man beating the shit out of a woman, cracking her fucking skull, man. I'm not even going. I'm a UFC fan. I'm a martial artist. I don't want to watch the shit no more. Everything just got me all fucked up and twisted, man. Because it's like, it's just ridiculous the level the shit is on, and the acceptance, to the point where you just want to disconnect from everything that's accepting.
Well, see, yeah, I'm with you on that. That's exactly how I feel now. Like, I quit the entirety of the society. Like, I quit.
You divorced society.
I'm done. I didn't quit sports teams before. Like, I didn't quit women. I didn't quit family. I didn't quit TV shows. I didn't quit my favorite cartoons. You know what I mean?
Right. You done got some broken up.
I logically, consciously quit society. I'm done. So now it's just get your issue and find your people.
Right.
That's it. Just get whatever you're gonna get during your lifetime. Make sure who you need to provide for is provided for, and then do you. Because it's not on this side of the rock. I don't care. I have no. Now it's just a question for question's sake. It's not a question because I care. I don't even care. And if I don't feel like asking nothing, I won't. I sit. Even at the plantation, I sit for the most part and don't talk to nobody. I go to work, I do my job, I listen to what I listen to, and then I bring my black ass back home. Because I quit. I'm done. Y'all don't want to be better. Y'all are okay. Y'all okay. Y'all know a little bit of y'all know enough to say what's wrong with you and don't want to fix it. Y'all are okay. And if you okay with diabetes and you're gonna keep eating them cookies, then go ahead. Like, I don't, what am I supposed to, y'all don't care. I can tell you what I'm gonna tell you. It's gonna be true, and you don't care. I literally gave somebody, one time I gave somebody some medicine. I had bought some Dr. Sebi stuff for him. And this goofy motherfucker put a gang of sugar in it, made some tea, put a gang of sugar in it because they said it tasted nasty. I said, well, what the hell was the point then?
Yeah, they don't understand the bitter. You know, yeah.
You saying you what was, I think it was anemic. You got low iron, and so you ain't got no energy, and it's been going on for like a month. All right, so I got you some iron. I think it's called Iron Plus or whatever, tea or something like that. And you, this is what you did, huh? So you just put sugar in it. So you know all right, okay, all right. I'm never doing that again. That's over. I'm never. No.
Hey, bro, Jeff, did you peep that thing I sent you with the devil dog Robert Kiyosaki breaking some shit down?
Oh yeah.
Yo, that's deep though. You know what I'm saying? That's the shit we always talking about how like that's what you gotta watch. He's like, I'm not worried about nothing else but my neighbor. Now, the motherfucker that didn't listen. Not that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and the one that'll wanna come take my shit or fuck over my folks and shit like that. Like, I thought that was like a real deep observation that
well, it's about where people are, man. And what's so sad is that nobody wants to come to grips with it's like the people at the end of Titanic, the band that kept playing. That everybody just keep playing your music. Maybe this isn't happening. Maybe it's not happening. Maybe shit isn't crumbling. I'm gonna keep going to the mall. I'm gonna keep how long are you gonna keep up this behavior is the question.
You know how many people with that specific movie I've argued with? Like, that is a fucking horror story. That is not there's nothing romantic about that fucking movie.
No, man.
What do you mean? I'm like, you're watching people. I said, grown men. I said, this is. I said, y'all, this is how you know love don't love us over here. Because a woman never even watches a movie and goes, damn, the men, that sucked for them. Grown men in this piece of shit movie watched boats leave with 12 people on it that was seated for 72. And they sat there while a motherfucker with a revolver with 6 shots told y'all to back the fuck up. What? Just what?
The deepest shit is, though, you gotta always, with something that I always do, because I'm kind of like stoic and realist. Yeah. I will always think about the service crew, because this is shit that they don't never show you in movies. The amount of motherfuckers that did the services and the dirty work, and how many of them, not just the men, but how many of them went to their death. You know what I'm saying? Behind these silly motherfuckers and shit, this romanticism and shit like that, because you know they couldn't fit in the lifeboats and shit, and they the motherfuckers that kept everybody alive. You know, in the first place, the systems engineers, the boiler makers, you know what I'm saying, all of that.
The people in the belly.
Yeah, the people in the belly, man. So it's like that's what we never see though, because they in the belly, man. And it's like you gotta always. That's something also that I think that Black folks need to keep in mind too, that we in the belly. That's why, like for 10 years, man, I wear a uniform. I put in my mind that look, there's no reason for me to have this and that if the shit that I'm working for, the people I'm working for, don't have it. So yes, I like to be clean and neat. So the way I'm gonna do this shit, I'm gonna wear a uniform, just like I did when I was in the military. That's what I'm gonna do. And like, you know, I got some shit I clean up well, and got some shit that I'll go to if I gotta make a certain type of impression or whatever. But pretty much that shit is a uniform too. It ain't nothing that I'm just trying to just sport on people. I never felt the vibration of like stunting on my people, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? When it's
Right.
work to fucking do, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's a real evil vibe going on out here, man. And it's funny that we talking about this on the day of Ishtar. If y'all go do your research on what Ishtar is and who she is and the the type of cults that was resurrected toward her vision and her reality and shit like that, it will blow your mind, because it's basically the shit that we living in this day and time. They soften you up by telling, by putting Jesus' face on it, but it's really hiding some real cultic, you know what I'm saying, next level, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Wizardry, you know what I'm saying?
But it's always that with these fuckers.
That's
It's
how it is.
always that. This is why you there's no way with all the emotions and all the natural good shit that women are supposed to be, that they've convinced the best version of women on this planet that they don't need their other half without some deeper shit going on. Because there's no commercial that goes, hey, you black woman, you, hey, you, fuck your man. Say it with me now. Fuck your man. And they just chant it together. That's not how it happened.
Well,
But
the witchcraft.
it
The
still
witchcraft
happened.
behind
So
the witchcraft behind feminism. They call that the Lilith. They call that the Lilith gene. Study that shit.
Okay. Well, hold that thought. To make your point, this shit is so fucked up that there's room for us all to be right. And in keeping with something Zero said earlier, regarding taking not getting fucked up in these conversations with one another over semantics, I'm not going to here. But I make this point because it came to me as you were saying it. Hey, you, black girl, fuck your man. Here's how we nobody came out and said that. Well, brother, yes, they kind of did. With movies like Claudine, followed up with the feminist movement attaching themselves to the affluence or the pseudo affluence given to black women right after they were housekeepers, the ones that were allowed into the workforce after the man was put out of the house.
well, right.
Those
I'm saying,
women,
I'm with you on that. I'm just saying it wasn't direct, is what I'm saying. So I'm acknowledging the witchcraft behind it. That's all I was saying.
Yes, sir. And here's where the witchcraft comes in. If words are spells and music is another form of casting a spell, nigga, think about the power of a song.
Oh yeah, the muse.
That's why nobody plays
on the rocks.
Yeah, nobody plays Marvin Gaye on a drive-by. So
I mean, hey, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I did some damage listening to Michael Jackson. I pulled up, seen somebody, and I was in the mood. You heard of Heaven Can Wait? I was in the middle of Heaven Can Wait. Seen them. Told the angels no, I cannot leave this mother alone.
Okay. Now, back on the road before you incriminate your goddamn self. There has been a trance that has been laid out, a pattern that has been put together, that the occult is a big dish of the soup. It's a big part of it that we have been taught to either avoid look at as evil, play down the parts, be ignorant to the wide open subliminal shit right out in front of you. This is the shit that we have been exposed to in order to make this shit work. This shit doesn't work if we don't work with it.
Right.
Exactly. You're right. You're so right. As a matter of fact, that's a major doctrine in warfare. Like if you notice how when the Romans and different empires established themselves, they always had to have a proxy from those people that's representing their supremacy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they had to breed that in order to keep it aware, like, you know, they can be all the way in Rome and shit'll still be, you know, moving accordingly and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So like what you're saying is it ain't nothing but the absolute truth. I think what we need to do is just look at more of antiquity and the politics and understand that shit. Because if we understand that, we'll understand what exactly is happening right now in this day and time. We understand that this is just the run-of-the-mill war game. You know, we would understand more of what's going on. We be playing too much, man. We
I'm with you, Zero. So like, okay, so I got two-parter. It seems to be that math is saying that it's easier to go with your negative feeling. And I say that in evidence of this. And for every single that you can name of Beyonce's or females that has some negative connotation of men, I can probably name you one that doesn't by the same person, and they're both singles. So why does one get more shine than the other? So for every to the left or scrubs, there is a cater to you and what was Kelly Rowland's? When she was doing her whatever it was with her man and being in love, or the one that Kelly Rowland got with Nelly, and it's a love. Like for every negative, for every negative song, for every I'm trying to think of one for DMX. For even DMX, like there's no artist that I can name where it's all except for this new shit, like except for these new brides. But the brides that raise these new brides, there's no version of balance in the music. There's always a negative single and a positive single. Even DMX did that. What These Bitches Want is not technically a negative song. If you listen to what he's actually saying and how he's saying it, you cannot like the words, but the message in the song is not fucked up. That's why women listen to it too. Like, it's not fucked up what he's saying. He's telling the truth. It's a truth. Deal with it, learn it, and figure out how to maneuver. But so when people say that, it's like, okay, yeah, there's what is that movie when the bitch burnt the shit down?
Wait and Exhale?
Yeah. So Wait and Exhale, right? But Poetic Justice happened too. So it's like, we have movies that do both. Why is one glorified more than the other and they both came out? Which makes me go, people are naturally negative. People are more naturally, or I ain't gonna say more natural. It's easier to be negative, I guess. It's just easier.
You got to understand too the history of writing and the history of white folks and satirism and the things that made us laugh and moved us emotionally as a people, proverbs, different things like that. And as opposed to the gore, the crazy ass stories that move them. You know what I'm saying? And it's like now we all together in one big ass gumbo bowl trying to figure this shit out. And it don't make no fucking sense. Cause it's not, it only makes sense to the motherfuckers who still got their roots. And that's for the most part, the white supremacists and shit. Cause they can go and look at or what this means or what you a black woman will run around and say narcissism a million times and don't even know, and don't even know who Narcissus is. Don't even know what the story is. Don't know about the Greeks and the Romans and their philosophy, and the 300, the Trojans, what their philosophy was on life. And then at the same time, if you went into Africa, South Asia, and these other areas, contrasted with the black kings, queens, princes, what the black people's mentality was and the things that moved them, it's a total different story. That's why they called it the Dark Ages. This dark-minded shit comes from them. See, we cry about why it's not more black folks writing and not this and that. It's because it's not art, that happy face, that sad face. That shit ain't for us. That shit is based off of a long occultic theory called thespianism, or whatever the fuck names they want to call it and shit, that has a certain philosophy and a way of doing things. And if you come in with your Sundiata story about a person who went through adversity, was a cripple, got shamed, but rose up and became a great king who could walk and was stronger than everybody, they don't want to hear that shit because it doesn't fit with their.
It doesn't resonate with that their animal.
But the thing is, we keep wanting to insert ourselves into their bullshit.
Well,
before that, I would like y'all to speak on the actual question I asked though. Mm-hmm. How if we did the math, there is a balance to the media.
Okay.
Why is it that we tend to take the negative version and hold that tighter than the positive versions?
Okay, stop right there. I'm glad you brought that up. Before I speak, I want to share this. I want y'all to check this out. This kind of answers it. I was looking for this to see if I could find it. Something I heard Tank say, and I want y'all's opinion on this right after I speak on it.
Sam Smith gets to sing a great song about stay with me. Mm-hmm. That goes straight to power rotation on a mainstream radio station. If I sing that same song, stay with me, limited bandwidth. Because our violence isn't the threat, our love is. Mm.
And that's beautiful, man. It all tied everything in.
Yes. Nobody.
Even what I was saying, young Bruce. Even what I was saying. If you really think of what I'm saying, I answered you. It is exactly what he said. It's like, this is not our shit that we're involved with. This is not our tune.
Well, on top of that, bro, let me jump back in here. On top of that, there, young Jedi Bruce, to answer your question directly, because of, and I'm gonna discuss these, because of the power of words, the power of music, and the power of love. White supremacy must fight tooth and nail to see to it that black people never aim those three at themselves. Ever.
It's called worldview. They don't want our worldview to supersede their bullshit ass worldview.
On what happens?
It looks clownish in comparison.
Well, even on a deeper level, Zero. What happens if you start singing love songs to you and empowerment songs to you when we know that this shit is truly powerful? We know that this is no joke, that words put to music have a mystic power.
Mm-hmm. You would have a bunch of lame Sundiatas turn into kings and fucking queens.
Yes.
And that's what they don't want.
Okay, but even on a the level I'm speaking on, because y'all definitely right. I'm saying like on a personal level. So we've all, you ain't married, right? Yeah, you ain't married or nothing like that, right?
Oh, I'm just wrapped it up.
Okay. All right, fucking. All right. So so we all been around people. So when you first meet a chick and y'all talking and somehow y'all get to y'all exes or whatever, and she want to tell you all the negative shit about dude.
Yeah.
At some point you go, bitch, you act like y'all ain't never had a good day ever. Like, I don't know nothing. Like, at what point? Why is it so that nature is what I'm talking about? Like I've done that to chicks. Like, why are you speaking about this somebody that used to fuck you raw so negatively? You let that happen. I don't even understand how y'all was together for this long, and you ain't even tell me about the time y'all went to the park together. Like, what the fuck are you doing right now? You trying to make me hate somebody I don't even know?
Well,
what's going on?
Well, there are a number.
But I'm saying, why is our nature more tilted towards that type of negativity in us to bring that out before we bring our light out?
Because it's not our nature. It's somebody else's. And they the ones that's on that devil shit. And all we do is learn. Edict and dictation. Edict and dictation. Education. We're educated by the devil. It's as simple as that. But we think it's not that simple. We think it's something deeper, but that's what it is. The shit has nothing to do with the positivity of an African proverb or a South Asian proverb or words of wisdom, bringing people up, the songs, the stories. It has nothing to do with what we come from at the root. It's all based in satire, horror, sawing motherfuckers' legs off while they still conscious without anesthesia, and now you, the top doctors in fucking the world, trying to tell everybody else what the fuck to do. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's as simple as that, my brother. Like, that's what I mean by that shit has nothing to do with roots people. That have nothing to do with people that worship the sun and saw that the sun give life. That have to do with people who said that our ancestors came from a fucking wolf and suckled on her titties and she raised them. Romulus and Remus, right? Romance, right? What's the root word in romance? Rome. That shit has nothing to do with African, Asian jungle player style, life and liberty. It's, in my opinion, one of the reasons I stay in the tropics, because I don't think that there's really truly no places in the world that you can really have to the root happiness other than a place that provides abundance.
That's the logic. Come on, man.
You understand? So like that's all I'm saying. It's as simple as that. That shit have, like, you was uprooted from where shit was just beautiful, where shit was abundant, where you could go to walk down a little road or walk out your yard and eat whatever the fuck you want to eat off of the trees and shit. You know what I'm saying? Tussle around, watch the monkeys and shit tripping the fuck out, whatever the fuck else, birds, colorful shit, beautiful sounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where you come from, and then you're thrust into the hustle and bustle of fucking filth, dark ages, and motherfuckers that think they know everything and they don't know shit.
Okay,
that's
man. You what you think, huh?
Well, I don't think, for one, I don't think it's ever on us anymore to move before we point the finger. Real talk. We don't get to move before we say, you don't get to tell me that I'm using slavery is an excuse. You don't get to tell me that I'm using Jim Crow or any of the present weapons against me as an excuse because I want to factor them in. That's like telling me that I don't really want to go to the moon as an astronaut because I factor in gravity. I'm factoring in the gravity of this bullshit that you have put me through. And I'm always going to factor it in.
So that you know how much left.
Thank you. And in that factoring, young Jedi Bruce, this will be what you will wrestle with. Is who gets your energy and for what? Who gets that exasperated energy? It's just gonna take. This isn't even about super wisdom. This is about time. Go around, take a few more trips around the sun, and it'll be easier for you to extract the lesson from these fools. You don't suffer fools well yet. Fools bother you. You're going to have to be able to look at a fool and go, there's the lesson. And keep that fool at arm's length, treating them like, yeah. Have you ever seen it's like a cartoon of this dude that has these goggles on. He's a mad scientist, and he's grinning really loud, real big, with something he's holding that's glowing green, but he's got these gloves on and these tongs, and he's holding it way out away from him.
Mm-hmm.
That's you, Jedi Bruce, with negative energy, with negative individuals, with assholes, with people with a negative gravitational pull that's gonna wind you up on the wrong side of town at the wrong time. People that is gonna throw salt in your game, gonna talk shit about your plans, ain't gonna help you plan shit. Gonna sit around with their mouth tight at the ribbon cutting. Them motherfuckers. They are toxic to you. And knowing how to apply energy to them, which is nothing usually more than study. Putting them together in your mind. What do all four of these niggas have in common that's different than these other three? Oh, wow. Okay, they're different this way. They're different that way. So now I can get a particular brand of hater, a particular brand of naysayer, of low frequency thinker.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see them motherfuckers coming. That's what that's there for. That's all. And it's not something, bruh, I still struggle with it. All I can tell you is that it is absolutely the path.
It's going to get worse because it's a dedicated breeding ground to them now. Trolls. That's what a troll is. It's a dedicated breeding ground just for that. Like to scope the motherfucker that is the fucking craw in your side.
Well, see, like I've been really it's been about a year and a half, and like I said, everybody that I feel like I've had to suffer is gone. Like I only tolerate people that help me build at this point, and they're part of the part of their life that bothers or bugs me. I have nothing to do with. So them calls in the middle of the night, oh, it's a problem. Can you come? Can you just come pick me up? Yeah, and I'll hang up the phone, go back to sleep, and be like, I shouldn't even answer the phone. And that's happened to a few people that know. They're figuring out. Don't even call him no more. He's through with it. He quit. So I understand because I'm asking more for commonality purposes, like it's hard to go through something when you think you're the only one going through it.
Yeah, that's why. That's why
I talk the way I do. You know what I'm saying? Like when music came out with music, I Just Want to Sing. The last song on that album was "You'll Be All Right," and that's basically what he say. Like when you start figuring out that most people go through the exact same shit, but for some reason we think our situation is special, it's a lot easier to be like, I understand, than it is to be like, oh, that's some bullshit. It's a lot easier on the soul and the energy. You just, I understand. So we fixing it, or you done with it? Or you just taking a break? Like, what are we getting to? Because that's how I do people now. I just listen to them. I don't even have to ask a question. I know by the way you talking what we doing. Instead of just, because I used to give you the answer. That's what I used to do. I just give you the answer. Not understanding that you didn't want no fucking answer. You like your problem. You like drama. You like the energy you get to expel. You feel like you actually accomplishing something. And then you about to not flush this turd. At least leaves you something in the house, I guess. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it's like moving out your girl's house, but you leave your PlayStation so y'all can argue about it. Shit like that. Like, I don't even deal with them type of people no more at this point. Like, nobody. I mean, there's one person I you know, for the sake of some shit I deal with, but even most of their problems, that's I say that way. That spot is filled. I'm not hiring for that position anymore. So I got too much shit to do. So it's definitely, sometimes I'm asking stuff just for the sake of I know at 20 I didn't have no barbershop to go talk to. I know what I lost at certain points in time too. And if I would have had older men or somebody to be like, look, my TV is not on the floor. I'm actually out here trying to do shit, and I'm about 15 years ahead of you.
On the floor.
Swear to God. If somebody would have been, if I would have had one of them people to be like, hey, I'm about 15 years ahead of you. I know some bumps and some bruises. You gonna go through it. You're not special. It's okay. Do some push-ups. Come through. Or let's just talk about it. It'd have made life a little easier for me because I'm not one of them people that had to get a bunch of whoopings and shit as a kid. Like, oh, that's not cool? Nah, look, that's not cool. All right, that's not cool. Then let's see. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't that hard. It was just I was by myself. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? It take a little longer, and I'm not even mad at that because still, like the house I'm in now, I did not like it. It's a starter place, right? And after about 3 years, I started liking it. I started loving the fact that I got it and kept it and maintained it because of how many cousins and brothers and people that then came and lived with me and I done helped. And you done fed a lot of people through this door. Just the fact that you keep your shit together and whether y'all still talk or y'all don't talk or whatever the case may be, for that little bit of time in their life, you helped. And that's cool. Whether it's the best thing or the only thing, it's your thing, and that's be okay with your thing. This is your first thing. This ain't your only thing, but this your first one. So it's cool. You build. You just keep building. But even in this process, you've helped so many without you even thinking about it and sit down. So now when I make it home, it's a blessing, and I don't just ask my energy for things. I say thank you all the time. I get to lay in the bed. My house is quiet. I mean, how many years I was homeless and didn't have a door. So I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just one of them people. So when I'm talking, sometimes it's just to get either something out or just questions, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what it's supposed to be about. Cause, you know, the funny thing about conversations is that your most brisk and your deepest and your most energetic conversations is supposed to be with people you respect. The motherfuckers that you don't respect and you gonna go to war with, it ain't too much talking. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, it's a time to, a lot of times people like misperceive it shit and they thinking like, they going at it or this person is disagreeing. It ain't necessarily that. Sometimes we just gotta come and emote or fucking explode and go postal. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing about men of action is if we don't emote somewhere, we don't have debate somewhere, we don't have releases somewhere, it's going to be taken out on somebody somewhere. It doesn't need to be, you know, expressed. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, bro, you doing? Nah, it's all good. is understood, a lot of what we doing, we feeling this is something that's dope, because we laying out a blueprint amongst ourselves and for others on how to interact and deal with how to go nuts and how to come back and just be like, oh nigga, I ain't tripping off that. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it is what it is, man. Like I'm here every week when I can be here. When the notifications don't go off, I be mad as fuck. And you know what I'm saying? I'm coming in and whatever. It's like, because I know that it's important to interact and cultivate this thing here, because this shit is what's happening. All the shit we talk about that's not going right, this shit is. You know what I'm saying? This giraffe balls in the church, this is going right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm digging it. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad to have met the Jedis and the people that I've met, you know what I'm saying, interacting through this. And I don't take nothing personal, man. I think long and hard about our exchanges and shit. Like, yo, was I acting a fool? You know, da-da-da. You know what I mean? Like, we need that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it is what it is.
And I'm glad you put it that way, as I take this time to kick you niggas the fuck out of here. They're exactly right. They are fantastically right. That I want you to think of yourself like a pipe, like a lead pipe. And we've all heard pressure bust pipes. Where at? Where it's weak. That pressure gonna come out and explode where you weak, where you feel most vulnerable, where you feel the most attacked, where you feel the most embarrassed. But it most definitely will be inappropriate. Most definitely inappropriate. It's going to come out wrong. It's going to come out disjointed. It's going to come out pointed at the wrong individual and at the wrong time. Because that's how shit go. That's how the energies aligned against you choose to move. You need to be able to see that. That's kind of what today was about. Thank you, Henty. Had a good male figure in my life. He just loved them damn hoes. So it ended. Yet I can do electrical, plumbing, paint, sheetrock, etc. Ladies look like Frank out there bragging on himself. I guess today was about being more discerning. About finding the ways to see through some shit. Watch the flocks of sheep. Where are they going? What motivates them? What moves them? And why? And how to stay the hell out the way. And while you're staying, stay high in thought. Stay high in deed. Guide your ignorance to your wisdom. Pull out of the gravity of the stupid. Sisters, find your peace. Brothers, find your majesty. It's your Uncle Jeff. I'm out.